What's going on, everybody? Pete Canelario here with Pompi for RE Solutions, and I know we're a little late today. We actually had a little power outage here in the neighborhood, and it pretty much pushed everything back. But anyway, we are here today on the PM Talker, and we're going to be talking about life expectancies and normal wear and tear on the property. We're going to discuss a little bit about security deposit because landlords are required to do the security deposit itemizations at the end of a lease. But this is where the normal wear and tear comes into play. A lot of landlords don't know exactly what is considered normal wear and tear. And then we're going to talk about the overall preventative maintenance of why you want to actually do these life expectancy items.
Yeah, definitely. So many of the items in a home have a life expectancy. HUD has a great chart that you can actually follow that breaks everything down for you. As an example, hot water heater is approximately 10 years, carpeting 5 to 7, air conditioning units as high as 10 years, ranges 20 years, refrigerators go for about 10 years. Here's the one that's a real kicker, gets a lot of individuals. Interior painting. Enamel is 5 to 7 years, but flat is only 3 to 5.
Yeah.
So nowhere near as long. Tiles and linoleum can go for 5 to 7 years. Window shades, screens, blinds, it's only 3 years. As a landlord, many things are not intended to last as long as some would think. Some of these items are not required to be replaced because it doesn't affect the health and safety of a tenant. But a good landlord will want to maintain the property in order to get top dollar during their rental turnovers, as well as keeping one of their most expensive investments in top shape.
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to rental properties, obviously, the big things are carpet and paint, right? And as Moppy just stated, the paint is usually anywhere from 3 to 5 years for flat paint, and that's mostly what you're going to get, especially in a new build. They're either going to paint it in flat paint or maybe an eggshell kind of paint, satin finish. But enamel paint's kind of like semi-gloss and gloss, which really you don't see too much gloss anymore. It's semi-gloss
Semi-gloss,
on
definitely.
the paint. Those last a little bit longer. Now these, um, just by living in a property, those walls are gonna either fade, the colors are gonna fade. People are gonna touch walls, especially around light sockets. They're gonna get dirty, kind of thing. But after a while, all those scuffs and paint chips or things of that nature become an eyesore. And when you try to rent your property out the next time, people are going to look at that and they're going to, probably pick the next property because of it, because it doesn't look good. So a fresh coat of paint on a rental property is one of the
Easiest ways.
of getting your property rented as quickly as possible. Carpet, most individuals, if you're living in your own property, you probably have your original carpet and you probably lived there 8 to 10 years, and to you it looks good. For a rental, it really depends. Some tenants, if the property is already looking good at the beginning, they're going to maintain the property. If not, then they're really not going to care. So I know that as a homeowner, we can live with a bunch of certain items that are not working or just does not look great in your property. But when it comes to residents, they really want a property that looks good when they move in. And if they don't care that it doesn't look good when they move in, that means that they're not going to take care of your property while they're living there. So you need to make sure you are maintaining your property. And a good way of doing that, obviously, is to set money aside for any upcoming maintenance. And there's different ways of setting that money aside. Little budget things. There are 3 different ways actually that you can look at it. So one is taking 50% of your rental income and saving that for future maintenance items that are coming up or things that you may need to replace. Or you can kind of calculate that as 1% of your property value. You want to hold on to 1% of your property value just so you know that you have that money. Or maybe $1 per square foot for your annual maintenance costs. So, for example, if you have a 2,500 square foot, 2,500 square foot house, you may want to save $2,500 in a little savings account just in case for any maintenance that comes up, or for any things that you may want to replace on the property. For example, painting or carpets, because those are the ones that are going to be the major ones. So when
moving out a resident from a rental property, an itemization of the security deposit will need to be accomplished. This is when the landlord can deduct costs from the security deposit. This needs to be for above normal and wear and tear items. A lot of landlords think that they can actually charge and keep everything for themselves. This is probably the #1 area of lawsuits in property management. Let's take a minute and break down the actual difference. So normal wear and tear is damage that naturally occurs due to aging and regular use. It typically results from a resident living in a property, and it's considered normal depreciation of the value or of the property. It's not caused by neglect or abuse of the property. Landlords need to repair normal wear and tear at their own expense, but this is not the case for tenant damages.
Right. And the biggest thing on this would be, once again, paint, right? So we see this a lot in a bedroom. You put a bed up against the wall, and kids are in that bedroom. When they move out, there's a black splotch on the wall.
From the little kids rubbing their hands.
Yeah,
right
rubbing
across.
their hands, rubbing their feet on the wall. Well, guess what? That's considered normal wear and tear. You cannot charge a tenant for that, But if the little kid was in that room and they were actually writing on the walls with markers or putting stickers on the walls that can't come off and things of that nature,
Totally different.
that's different. That is considered above normal wear and tear, and you can charge for that. Now, you need to be careful when you charge for that as well, because you're supposed to only charge them or itemize a security deposit for for specific things that they have done above normal wear and tear. So do you paint the whole bedroom and charge the tenant maybe the $200, $300 because of the whole bedroom, but only that one wall was the one that really needs to be painted? That's things that you have to look at and consider when you're a landlord. It's probably best to just go ahead and prorate that. So if it's a $200 paint job in a bedroom, divide that by 4. It's 4 walls, and you're only going to charge them for 1 wall.
One of the 4 walls.
Yeah. So you really have to be careful of that. Normal wear and tear is different than the tenant actually causing damage. Normal wear and tear it occurs naturally over time, and damage can be caused by tenants. That is being caused by tenants is not a result of aging, but is a result of negligence. So carelessness or abuse.
Right.
Normal wear and tear is required to be paid by the landlord, and the tenant damage is not. So let's take a look at some of the examples and types of normal wear and tear and tenant damage, and the difference between the two.
Yeah, so Pete keeps referencing over because it's one of those things that we've picked up from our years of doing this. Carpet is an example. Like discussed earlier, the average useful life of a carpet is about 5 years. Normal wear and tear on that carpet is gently worn areas that you might actually even get patches based on the age of the carpet, but there's no holes or stains. Tenant damage would be that the carpet is actually going to have pet stains, and it's going to be ripped in certain areas. Cigarette burn holes are another example of tenant damage to a carpet.
Juice
Being
spilled, wine being spilled,
Hardwood floors is an example. The average useful life of a hardwood floor is 25 years. Fading of such flooring due to sunlight exposure, normal wear and tear, as would light surface scratches. However, if there's deeply scratched hardwood floors or pieces of the hardwood that's actually missing, that's tenant damage, right? Ceramic tile. The average useful life of a ceramic tile is 25 years. Dirty grout surrounding the tiles, normal wear and tear. But broken, heavily chipped, or missing tiles altogether, tenant damage.
And I would like to bring up a point on that as far as damaged tiles. So a lot of this stuff obviously can be looked at during the move out assessment of a property in order to itemize a security deposit. But when it comes to kind of broken tiles and things of that nature, now you're looking at the health and safety of a tenant, right? Little kids running around may cut their foot with a broken tile kind of thing. So those are things that you need to look at right away and get it fixed or replaced, in order not to cause any safety issues in the property. Now, is that going to be charged to the tenant, or is that going to be charged to the owner? Well, it really depends, right? If
Why
it was,
why did it crack?
yeah,
Is it
exactly.
foundation shifting and that's why it cracked?
Yep.
Or did a tenant drop something on it causing it to shatter?
Yes.
A good property manager or somebody that you're working with should be able to help get you an answer
Yes.
with something like that, as far as delving into it.
And that goes into other maintenance items as well. We are fortunate that the vendors that we use, when we send them out there, they can pretty much tell us if something was damaged due to normal wear and tear, or it was damaged due to tenant negligence kind of thing. So, a garbage disposal, I always use this reference. A garbage disposal that is not working because it rusted out is normal wear and tear, unfortunately. But if there's tree roots in there,
Or Barbie head,
or a glass or something in there that caused it to either get stuck or start leaking, then obviously that's tenant damage. So
windows. The average useful life of a window is about 20 years. So if there's light scratches, worn, loose hardware, that's normal. Now, mind you, if it's broken altogether, that's actual tenant damage. Countertops. Depending on the quality of the countertop, do you have Formica or do you have marble? Useful life can be anywhere between 20 years or more. All countertops can be expected to have some light scratches, maybe some watermarks. But if there's chips, burnt areas, or multiple stains, that's tenant damage.
And that brings up another point with countertops. So we had a countertop once that a tenant, it's a Formica countertop, and the tenant put a hot pot on it and burned the area. Now, the vendors that went out couldn't find the same type of
Formica,
countertop, right? So what do? Well, we're going to charge the tenant for all the countertops to make a match. That's kind of excessive. So we ended up, after talking to the owner, we ended up cutting out that area of the countertop and actually making it kind of like a butcher block kind of thing, so that tenants can actually use that area for cutting food and stuff like that. So save the tenant some money. Obviously, we still had to fix that area, and it cost some money to fix that, but they weren't charged for two sides of a countertop. That would have been way more expensive and stuff like that. So,
and now with that butcher block, there is an actual area that tenants can be able to put
yes,
hot stuff on
exactly.
there and not damage further
Right.
the rest of it.
Plus, that butcher block was easily able to be removed and put again, it by a vendor, obviously, because it was put in place permanently, but it was easily able to be removed and replaced if we needed to.
So walls should last, as far as the paint on the wall and the actual structure of the wall should last for the duration of the home itself. However, there are some cracks in the walls that could be caused by shifting, settling. These are all normal wear and tear. However, if there's holes because the tenant used the wrong types of nails or screws to hang things, that's tenant damage.
Yeah. And a lot of people get confused in this. A lot of landlords, when they're itemizing their security deposit, it's fine that tenants are hanging stuff on the walls. Now, it depends on what size nails they're using. If they're using anchors, most likely those anchors are going to have to be spackled over and repainted. So that's going to be a tenant charge. If they're using just regular little nails on the walls, we're really not going to charge the tenant unless there's excessive amount of holes around the wall. So that is a thing that you actually have to physically look at and verify if you want to go ahead and charge that tenant for that stuff. So,
and as discussed previously, paint. Most paint has a useful life of about 3 to 5 years, maybe 5 to 7. Fading of that paint is acceptable, as well as some light smudge marks and things of that nature. However, if there's outright portions of it that have been removed, children scribbling all across it, or if there's been unauthorized paint colors because the tenant just had to have baby or Barbie pink in their child's room, and they did that without getting permission from the owner, then that would be referenced as tenant damage, and then you can charge the tenant.
Yes. And a lot of tenants will actually take care of the property once again if the property is given to them in good condition. Some tenants do want to try to paint rooms and stuff like that, and as long as they get permission from the property manager and we get permission from the owners, it should be fine. Most of the times, obviously, a property management company is going to want those individuals to repaint the wall back to whatever color was
Original
before.
color.
Yeah. And if that happens, then, obviously those are deductions that's going to be made out of the security deposit. We really don't want the tenants to actually paint the walls themselves because sometimes they don't do a very good job, and it would have to be repainted, in which they're
now there's
wasting
even more money
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
we don't want to do that for anybody.
exactly. So, yeah. So normal wear and tear, it's really dependent on what it is. Nobody can really give you a specific definition on normal wear and tear on, especially when you're itemizing a security deposit. Basically, you have to look at it and decide for yourself: is it something that the tenants did on purpose, or is it just normal wear and tear? And then, as far as life expectancies, every item in your property has a life expectancy, from your garbage disposal to your water heater to your AC unit, everything.
All
So,
appliances,
yes, and
flooring, wall.
and if you have a water heater that's lasted you for 15, 16 years,
be blessed.
yes, because usually they don't even last that long and stuff like that. So, and of course, we've had owners before that tenants move in. As soon as they move in, something goes wrong, and owners are like, well, it's been working for the last 12 years. Well, yeah, well,
It might be,
unfortunately,
yeah.
unfortunately, 12 years has exceeded its life expectancy. So, yeah, so be blessed if your stuff is still working now after this whole time. But anyway, I want to thank you for joining us today for the PM Talker. Hopefully we gave you some good information. If you want more information, or if you want specific information, feel free to contact us. Leave us a message below. Contact us at resolutionsxv.com or yourfriends@resolutionsxv.com.
Check out our website.
Check out our website. First of all, it's not first of all because we've been talking this whole time. Anyway, lastly, today is Veterans Day. I want to thank all the veterans out there. Happy Veterans Day to all my brothers and sisters,
all family members.
Of our military, past and present. Obviously, this group is made the majority of military members, and we love our veterans, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to try to take care of our veterans. And being said that, we are doing a
veteran business conference in conjunction with Align Mortgage. It's going to be on November 18th. Yes, November 18th in the evening. Please check us out on our website or on our Facebook. We'll have all the information. You can click a link and register yourself to show up. We're trying to help fellow veteran business owners like ourselves gather around and share ideas and how to grow and how to better ourselves in the business community. I think sometimes as a veteran, when you've been behind the flag and the uniform for a while, it sometimes can be a little difficult trying to make that transition in the civilian world, and no other better way that we can think of than by helping each other, right? Veterans helping other veterans to make sure that we can all improve and grow together.
Yeah. So this seminar, the link is going to be in the description below. You can sign up. Obviously, this is basically for veteran-owned businesses, small businesses. This seminar, we're going to have David Tristan on there. David Tristan is a tax professional, so he's going to be talking about closing up the 2021
last quarter. Yeah.
Finally.
Yes.
And
it's been
going
a long
into
year.
going into 2022. So he's going to be talking about that. Of course, Tony Diaz from Align Mortgage, the one that we're partnered up with, he's also going to be there. He's going to talk to you about some of the VA benefits on the home mortgage loan side and stuff like that. So we really want this to be a success. So any family, friends in the San Antonio area, Austin area, I don't care, drive down. Just come on down, sign up, and come on down for this event. 6 to 8:30 roughly on November 18th. So once again, the link is going to be on there below. So I think that was it. Oh no, we got one more announcement. So yesterday was November 10th,
November 10th,
2021. A lot of you are probably thinking, oh yeah, the Marine's birthday. Yeah, the Marine's birthday was yesterday, but that's not the important one.
No.
Actually, our daughters, Pompi's daughter, our daughters.
Yeah, I was gonna let you slide on that.
No, correct that.
My daughter,
Pompi's daughter, and my son were born on November 10th. Not the same year, but same day. So their birthdays were yesterday. We went out and actually had some dinner with them and stuff like that.
Celebrated with them. It was wonderful.
Yeah, had a great time. So we want to say happy birthday to Ariana and happy birthday to Justin. And yes, happy birthday to the Marine Corps and your 200 and something years of service.
I think it was 247 they've been around.
Yeah. Actually, I saw a Marine Corps guy yesterday at the restaurant we went to.
Okay.
All full uniform. And I'm like, man.
That's a Marine.
That's
a Marine right there.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Take care.